So welcome everyone. This is Susette from Sales Pro for You, and today we are doing a very special episode of the Expert Talk. It's a new format and it's called the Company Special. And I'm very, very happy and honored to have today with me the first company from the photonics industry who's joining us, and this is OptoPrim, and it's Christian Schröter. Hey Christian, how are you?
Hi, Susette. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the invitation. We are very happy to be here and quite excited what that format is going to do with our open position, with our ways of working, and happy to introduce our company, myself, and have some exchange with you about some HR topics.
Wow, I mean, you already nailed it. I have like a sheet. I was trying to read the agenda, but now I'm not going to do that. But you are totally
prepared,
right.
yeah, prepared.
Yeah, prepared. Yeah, the German style. Okay, but or maybe anyway. So I was just thinking, like you said already something about HR, but I would like to start with OptoPrim itself. So Christian, for people who do not know OptoPrim yet, what does OptoPrim do?
So basically, we are a company within Europe, and we are in the world of photonics. And our goal is to bring photonics lasers into the market, into the industries, to support any kind of, I would say, technical challenge, and also bring innovations to the market. Because at the end, there's a very dynamic market. The photonics market is developing rapidly, super fast, and also the applications are expanding, and it's sometimes even hard to catch up for experts. But our goal is really to be on top of the topics, on top of the applications, and move everything towards our customers or their projects to support the industry really from, I would say, scientific research into production, but as well to next topics like data centers for AI, or like some hot topics like in defense or whatever. So it's really somebody who does not know where photonics is used. I can tell you, you touch every day at least 20, 30 pieces where a laser has processed something, marked something, or has maybe supported something, or is measuring something. It could be your phone, your glass, your computer, whatever. So everybody has photonics somehow in its hand or something processed by photonics.
Wow, this was a very, very lovely explanation. Thank you so much for sharing this. And indeed, you do brilliant laser solutions. So, and you just said, you are like into different kind of markets. You touched like defense. Then you said something maybe like medtech or like production. Maybe I heard not medtech, but I am now saying medtech.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I very much like about your quick presentation was you showed like an interdisciplinary application tool, right? So this is what you are working with, correct? So you can serve different kind of markets.
Correct. So at the end, you have to imagine. So every application or every project of a customer has different requirements. It's based on maybe performance, on quality, on price, whatever. And it's our goal or our let's say idea to find the best solutions. And because we are having a broad spectrum, which means like easy said, from milliwatt to multi-kilowatt laser, which is super powerful. You can serve from analytical, medical applications, surgery applications, up to maybe some construction or shipbuilding companies who are cutting steel like, I don't know, 50 millimeters or more. That's the spectrum of applications. And there we have all kinds of laser solutions, basically from single components to integrated solutions or also machines. I think that's the unique point here, that you have versatile customers, versatile requests, so it never gets boring. So you always deal with different types of requirements, companies, people's backgrounds, and I think that makes the job in photonics in general, but also here at OptoPrim, super interesting. Yeah.
Wow, this was lovely. I have to quote that. And this is already also touching my next question. So I just heard your lovely speak about OptoPrim, about the industry, about, how you identify yourself, how you love your job. And then I was thinking like, well, the guy is already 10 years at OptoPrim. This is very interesting. So that's my next question. Your own career path at OptoPrim is quite inspiring. From sales, service, service sales engineer to technical sales, sales director, and now managing director. When you look back, what was the most important step in this journey for you?
I would say at the end, it's really about customer support and service, because in my opinion, you learn from scratch to listen to the demands of your customers. You learn to understand problems, and in service, you always deal with problems at the end or some issues, and how to solve them. Yeah, it could be just easy organization stuff where everybody can do if he is like just on top of the issue, or it's getting very technical and you have to have some knowledge or you have to know where to ask. So I would say that if you have like a generous supportive understanding and motivation, you will win customers, you will satisfy customers, and you will stay with your customers. These are definitely very, very important parts to grow a business, a sustainable business, and also enter into new markets. Because if you don't show service capabilities and support from the beginning, they will never let you enter into their production, into their new product or whatever. They will be always like, okay, even if the product is nice, what's going to happen with it? Is there support? Do I have someone who's answering my questions if I have some? Or yeah, if I have to increase the volume, we need to work together on a business plan, how to scale. So there are so many topics, but at the end, it's support. Yeah. So in my opinion, support is key. Yeah.
Wow, this was another good quote. So we have to continue doing that. Thank you so much. And you already touched another topic. But anyway, I would like to focus again in your path, if you let me so.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Okay, so sorry, there's another question. So don't take it too serious. You did not follow the classical route with a PhD or a long academic career in photonics, which is quite usual. I'm sorry for that. You know, I did not make the rules, you know.
Yeah.
But we have to say that. What helped you grow into the leadership anyway? So why, you know, what happened?
Yeah, I would say it's a lot about meeting the right people at the right points to getting trust and support. Because if you have no one in front of you, which is pushing you, but also maybe protecting you in some situations, you will always, let's say, you can grow just with good mentors, good colleagues, and in a good team. And on the other hand, I would say it's really about, if you like what you're doing, you don't have to motivate yourself. It's about motivation, dedication, about commitment, and last but not least, trust. Or let's say also that, people can rely on you. So I think that's one of the, at the end, easy things in private life, in professional life. And if you are a trustful person, the people will come back to you. Yeah? And I think that's nothing with your maybe studies or nothing with your technical background. These are the basics and the fundamentals. This will help already. And then it's about how you're working into the topics and taking responsibility. Maybe sometimes take also a bit of risk, because if you always stay in a comfort level, you might stay there for a long time. And then it's about a step-by-step process at the end. And if you don't decide to maybe stop at a certain level and you continue, okay, then here you are.
This answer was fabulous. You already touched, I guess, 3 up to 4 follow-up questions, but I'm afraid I cannot ask that many. But I might come back to some of those I had just in my head. But you said 5 letters. It's TRUST, trust, right?
Yes,
so trust is the most important thing you also discovered and you just shared with us. And I totally agree. It's very interesting for the customer relationships, and that's why we are also going to talk today, it's also very important between the employee and the employer. So,
sure.
I would like now to switch a bit more into the HR topic of today, because I have this very nice outprint of the industrial sales engineer position in front of me, because you are actually right now hiring, you're looking for someone.
Yes.
And I would like to talk about that now. So my first question, which is here HR related, is photonics is a highly technical industry. From your perspective, what kind of talents are currently most needed?
I would say for sure, let's say we can come back to that. Support and service is always something, but I would say right now it's if you look purely on photonics, it's about laser physicists, I would say.
Stop.
Or outside, you mean?
No. I mean more in a kind of an easy job title, like what you just said before, like customers or sales, So this is what I would like to understand, because this is how you advertise, I mean, you have an advertisement which is sales engineer. So I would guess photonics industry needs salespeople, but I don't know.
Let's say, I think sales, yes, it's for sure probably highly more demanded is really like also engineers with background, engineers for R&D, for process development, for design, and I think that's the main things, because as I said, it's so dynamic, and the range of available technologies and how to apply is you have to catch up. And I would say, besides the official title, is also someone who is able to adapt fast to new topics. Even if you have a dedicated background, there will be always something new. So I can tell you, in our week, we don't have super much, let's say, repetition of any topics. Yeah, every week is different. Every week, new requests coming in from different industries, different applications. So if you're not capable to adapt, you are lost. Yeah, so it's really.
I love that description. You have to hire me. Just kidding. No, go ahead. But you said you have to adapt quickly, right? So this is more like a soft skill. We spoke also about the hard skills, which was like engineering R&D. So do you think people need a PhD, or could they also like go with a master and then they are fine? Because what do you think? What is your opinion?
Let's say it depends where you want to enter. Maybe if I coming back to myself, so I have more like an electronic background. So I just entered as a commissioning technician into the photonics world, which means I combined like electronics, mechanics, and photonics, which was completely new to me. So by default, I ran into it. I start to like it. I start to explore myself and get more and more info from the market, from colleagues, from customers, and so on. So I would say, it really depends where you want to start. I think it can be also a fundamental technical, let's say maybe master in terms of not bachelor and master, but we also in Germany we have this technician and master system on the apprenticeship path you can go, and that could be already quite helpful. I know that, for example, in the Aachen area, they tried even to set up an apprenticeship based on optomechanics, just dedicated to serve the market for laser companies, because you have so many apprenticeship where let's say, you don't always need the physical doctor or the master, but you need someone who has a feeling for optics, for being accurate, for having an understanding about laser safety and some interaction between light, optics and absorbers and all this stuff.
Okay, this is very, very technical and sciencey, and you're right. These are hard skills you have to learn. You cannot just like transfer because you are smart, because there are also transferable skills. Like if you like to communicate, you could be, you can be marketing and sales. I just say something. But what you said, this is really like you have to get the education. And I very much like that you just shared that some universities are, they are listening to the market, because if you need such people because you would like to build such solutions, somebody has to educate them, right?
That's right. So let's say, basically, historically, I would say that most know-how, even if you're getting it by your physics studies or your master in photonics or whatever, I would say that most of know-how, and it's with many other industries as well, is transferred just on the job as well, because it's about basically the experience of your colleagues, of your team, which is shared. And let's say, I can say I have learned. And also in the field is another topic as well. Just you learn a lot when you have the possibility to gain this know-how to adapt as well, but also receive it. Yeah. So I think that's a very important key.
Yes, you just said, to make it a bit more easier for me to understand, you just said there should be somebody who is kind of guiding you. There should be somebody in the company who is a bit like more expert than you, like your team leader or like your colleague or whoever. So if you have young people, they need somebody who are going to guide them, because of course we all started, we have never been here forever. So, Come on.
And then it comes back to the motivation. So if you are happy to receive all this information, you start to grow automatically. Yeah. And if you are into it, I think it's the path you will make, or everybody will make its path, right? So
wow, I have really to tell you, this is one of the first, maybe this goes too far, this is one of less discussions I had about modern leadership, because what you just said is also describing like touching the generations, who are coming after us. You cannot always do a 25 years old kind of leadership stuff. No, because people are different, they change, the generation change. And what you just said, this is very, very appreciated. Okay,
yeah, thanks.
we have to move on.
Yeah.
Okay,
please.
so this is the last question about the general, let's say, feeling you have about photonics, talents acquisition, in this industry. Do you think the photonics industry is doing enough to make itself visible and attractive to gain young talents?
Let's say, I would say from the inside and as part of the industry, yes, we are doing it. But on the other side, I would say by percent, we are still a very small number of the entire industry. So we are, let's say, already existing since decades, basically, but very niche, yeah, very, let's say, crazy guys dealing with lasers and stuff like this. And we have now gone through different kind of industrializations, but at the end, so many people, as I said, also, nobody knows where he's touching already photon products. Somehow we're not doing it at, let's say, at a level where we say we really get to Instagram or we get to YouTube or whatever. There are some small examples, but I think, we are still, by percentage, it's a fact, a small industry, but we are growing. I think we have exciting technology. And even if we are in competition or whatever, it's also a nice ecosystem where you really can also grow yourself if you stay within the industry, you network, you connect and stuff like this. So I would say the industry itself is already there. It's already making its marketing for itself, but we need to grow still. Yeah. So that's thanks for also giving us the chance here in your podcast. And we're trying this also through some organizations or events and things like this. But it's an ongoing process, I would say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christian. I love that you shared that. It's a challenge and we are together and we can grow together in this point. So now, before my camera is gone again, I have to move on. So the role, why we are both here today, and this is very interesting, it's called Industrial Sales Engineer, Laser Systems and Optical Technologies. So,
yes.
And what I really much like about, I'm telling you what I don't like. This is maybe better.
Yes, please.
So, so what I don't like,
yeah.
no, so this is like, it's very nice. Listen.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't like that what is written here and the job is written very well, and I'm gladly that I can good understand what you want. I'm just sad to say that you in this conversation, you are reflecting the company, you are reflecting OptoPrim and the mission and the feeling I should get when I read this. But this is unfortunately not possible. So, for me, the most important thing, if I would be, looking for a job again, I would like to make sure that the company is a nice company. So that that I feel like not the family feeling, but maybe something like I feel valued, I feel connection. This is not what
the
you
right
can.
Spirit, yeah.
Yes, the spirit. This is not what you can just give with like fruits or a ping pong table or whatever. You cannot do that, right? So there's one technical thing, or I don't know, one skill thing which is written in the job description. I would like to ask you about that. So in the job description, you mention a strong hunter mindset. What does that mean in your daily business? Question mark.
Question mark. That's a good question, because at the end, that's especially in periods like this where different industries have, I would say, different performances and then different, let's say, also in terms of sales success rates, you really can see the difference between sales types and how the people are working in sales. And hunter mentality is for us someone who is really eager to hunt, to achieve things, to being active and not waiting until the food is coming on the table, being served and cut, by piece to get speed. Yeah, it's really about being hungry, being out. It's a bit, how to say, native speaking, Neanderthaler style. But at the end, it's really about being proactive, being engaged, self-motivated, and self-organized. Because as a general manager, or also maybe my colleague as a sales director, we're supporting the team at any time. But we cannot carry people to, let's say, like you say, I think there's a slogan, you cannot carry someone to the water to drink. Yeah, they have to go somewhere, somehow do it by themselves. And I think that's a very important mindset. There's the opposite of the hunter is the farmer. So basically, he's sitting on the field and is farming what is ready to be harvested. And that's it. But the field will never be getting bigger, or if something gets lost or old, it's not growing again. So at the end, by statistics, things are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But if you're a hunter, you always adapt things. You go into new markets, you explore new customers, you explore new applications. And that's what we understand hunting mentality. Yeah?
Got you. Let me challenge that a bit.
Yes.
So sales is a very, very interesting and very important part of a career. This is what I would say about sales. Maybe you agree on that.
You sell yourself every day, yeah, usually, if you're good.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes you sell yourself, sometimes anyway. So I was just like thinking, you can learn, to sell. And I'm not quite sure if this position, you have to tell me, maybe I'm wrong, if this position is also maybe for people who are having not that much experience, because you're writing, having experience in B2B, business development, and also in sales, which is, by the way, several roles in one role. To be precise.
Nobody said it's easy. Nobody said it's easy. So
no. You have to understand. I mean, this is an advice I really would like to give you.
Yeah.
So I would like to understand first. Are you also looking for someone who have not 15 years of experience in sales, or is this a specific experienced sales position? Because it's just called industrial sales engineer. So I'm not quite sure. Am I too young? Am I too old? Should I have already many sales and closings, and how many revenues? And so, or can I be just somebody who thinks like, well, I like sales, I did it a bit, and maybe this is good, so let me just try it. So who is it?
Yeah, let's say, right, theoretically, if you have some experience, some things and processes might be easier. But if you are long in the business, maybe you get a little bit lazy or whatever. So there are pros and cons why you're younger, why you're older, with much or less experience on one or the other hand. I think it's a lot of how you present yourself, how much you can show your motivation, and how much you are interested in doing these things. And one part is for sure also how much you like to be in communication with people, with other companies, how you have also the how do you say, this kind of supportive DNA to push further your let's say customer requests and projects. So I would say for sure some experience will help, and it brings you maybe up to speed. But on the long run, it's more yourself. It's really about dedication, motivation, and so on. So you can learn many things on the job. So we are not saying you need 5 or 10 years. Let's say maybe you start from a different position, but depends on the pace. You can level it, yeah.
Okay,
and that's up to you, yeah.
Thank you so much. So this means in general you would be open, for somebody who has like 5 years of sales experience versus somebody who has like 15 years of sales experience.
For sure. Let's say this is clear, just a personal, let's say, differentiation then, what the person is putting on the table, and how much he is motivated to be part of the team and the journey, yeah.
What I also very much like about the position is there is no title. So I do not read something like you have to have a PhD in blah, blah, blah. You need a master in something. So I'm not reading that, or am I wrong?
That's correct. Let's say it's also that you can have maybe good on-the-job or practical experience, where you don't have a degree on it, right? On the other hand, you can have the degree and I always say, anyhow, it doesn't matter how you got your degree, but how is the person really in the job, right? Is it a super motivated and hardworking person, or let's say pushing person, or is it a lazy guy? So it could be also a lazy doctor in physics, which doesn't help me. It doesn't help the person as well. And on the other hand, I can have a super motivated by practical and nature grown person, which is onto it and rocks his topics. Yeah. So that's why we're not writing titles and rely on the personal aspects a lot. Yeah.
I very much appreciate it. This is outstanding for me. It's one of the rarest, most less, whatever. I lost my losing my English. Positions I found, which says no title on it. So this is very interesting. Thank you so much. So anyway, we have to finish the episode of today. I'm very sorry about
it's
that,
really, we are already through it. I don't imagine. Okay, that's
you would like to talk
too fast. Yeah, I could talk much more, but okay. Let's see. Maybe there will be a follow-up episode at some point.
Of course, this could be an option. Why not? We can, for example, share experience about the interview process. You know, like how do you experience candidates in interviews? You know, what do you are looking for? What kind of obstacles to discover? Where do you need help with? So this is what we can talk next time, if you like. So there is a lot of things.
Keep it in mind. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so Christian, thank you very much. So this was Christian Schröter from OptoPrim, brilliant in laser solutions, the managing director. Thank you so much. And folks out there, I'm telling you, if you're an expert and you like photonics, you like maybe medtech, and you like defense and space, whatever, but you would love to build fabulous lasers, and you're looking for a job, and you also like sales, because this is a nice ramp to start or to continue your career, we would be very delighted to receive your message, because we are able to help. And this is why we have this episode today. So anyway, all the other companies out there who are in photonics, medtech, semicon, deep tech, and you would like to be with me, like Christian enjoyed today, I hope so, just drop us a message. And Christian, any last words from your end?
I just say thanks. I'm happy to be a starter of a new episode. I hope then it will be successful episode, following up episodes. And thanks for honoring photonics. And also, we're kind of connected before at another HR seminar. So thanks for inviting. It was really a pleasure. And wish you good luck with the new episodes. And happy to get maybe some of first applications through you as well, and connecting with interesting candidates.
Thank you so much. These were lovely words. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheers.